We rolling?
Rolling.
Bow your heads. Lord, grant us the serenity to accept the results that we cannot change, the wisdom to make the bets that we can. The courage to make the bets that we can, and the wisdom to know that it ultimately does not matter. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the Barstool Sportsbook. All glory yours. All glory is yours, Lord. And also on top of that, to all the gambling gods up there, good morning. This weekend's a new weekend, a chance for a new start. Last weekend's gone, and with all the regrets that everybody may have made, the mistakes, failures for not betting with the boys, it's a good day to be glad and give thanks to the gambling gods above, because we are living in abundance right now. Thank you for today, a new opportunity to love, give, and be all that you want us to be, Lord. Please help us prosper this weekend in your righteous holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Boys, welcome to another episode. Hang on, let me make sure this little cigar stays alive. Welcome to another episode of Bet the Bus. I am your host, Payoff Willy, a.k.a. Year 10, a.k.a. we are on a 4-week winning streak, boys. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but at the same time, we got to give flowers where flowers are due. Jackie boy, if you don't mind, please update the people on how Bet the Bus is doing, because we started off rocky. We started off the year rocky. What week are we in right now?
Week 8.
Week 8. We started off a little rocky, but we are on a 4-week fucking terror. Jack, with all due respect, brother, allow the people to know, the successful people who's been betting with us, hype them up, and the haters, let them know how we've been doing.
2 words, financially solvent. We've been living and dying in the green. College football, we were 3-2. Got a little rocky at points, but we always had faith. NFL has been just our bread and butter, and we're 4-1 last week. I want to say the most losses we've taken in a single week on NFL were 2, but we're just absolutely rolling right now in the green. So if you're not with us, keep hating, keep fading. But if you're with us, run that bank account up.
If you ain't with us, go fuck yourself. Yeah. Because we're living good. What is the saying? You look good, you feel good. You feel good, you play good. You play good, they pay good. They pay good, you're living good. And if you're living good, that means you're betting with Bet the Bus. Listen, with all of this prosperity that we've been having, there's going to come a time to where a rainy day is going to come. We're not arrogant to think that we might not get humbled in the coming weeks. We might. I don't think we will, because like you said, NFL's our bread and butter. I don't know, playing 9 years in the league, going on year 10 has anything to do with that, but I think it does. But to prepare everybody, look, for those who have had rainy days, those happen. How have you built yourself up to this point? We lay out a standard, we lay out a formula every week. It's up to you to bet with the boys if you want to or not. But my question before we started this episode was this: how do you not allow everybody that's following us to not get seduced by success? Continue to have fucking success. But when a rainy day comes, here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Bet with the fucking boys. Bet with the fucking boys. Trust us, because we got your back. Here's what I'm personally doing. If you want to know my financial plan, you take 20% of the wings that you've had, you put it on the side. It's called Dave Ramsey Emergency Fund, because a recession's on its way. A recession's coming. And when that recession hits, who are you going to turn to? You're going to turn to Bet the Bus, because you're going to be right here bet with the boys. You're going to have 20% stored away emergency fund, and the rest of the 80%, we're going to sprinkle on parlays, and we're going to continue to fucking win. That's how we're going to do it on Bet the Bus, boys. Would you agree or not? Am I preaching?
Preaching, bro.
Preach.
Thank you. We have a tremendous slate coming up this weekend. I want to say we have 7 games in the NCAA, because, again, we want to run it up. I want to say our average, Jack, I know you said we were 3-2 in college football. Number one, fuck you, Texas A&M and Kansas State. I believed in you motherfuckers. Kansas State, you were up 28. You were up 2 scores and allowed TCU to. You guys had control of the game. I love you guys. You guys have been a dark horse for us all year. Just like Illinois, which we're going to get to. Illinois, they're playing the fucking boys. But Kansas State, respectfully, fuck you, because you hurt us. I went to bed on that game. I was like, oh, we're cash money. We might lose one, because South Carolina came out 17-0. I was like, yo, what the fuck's happening? But South Carolina's a sneaky good football team. And again, JP, we should have listened to you. Hey, we should have listened to you, brother. And that's on me. I wanted to get off of fuck you, JP. We're rolling A&M. I thought it was going to happen. The real ones admit when they're fucking wrong. Hand up. I was wrong. I should have listened to you, JP. Coach Hove. But, hey, we're going to have a proper weekend with proper wild. Clean, no bullshit preservatives, no bullshit artificial sweeteners, no none of that. This will keep your gas tank full all day long. And not Fugazi caffeine gas tank where you crash at the end of the day. We're talking you're a motor. You're a Chevy Silverado all day long because you're seeing the board clearly with proper wild. We're about to give you proper bets with proper wild. I'll take a half shot now because last week I put 300 milligrams of caffeine in this body and I couldn't fall asleep. I was waking the wife up trying to play the entire night. You know what I mean?
Hey, okay, Willy.
Y'all see what I'm saying? But hey, we got you proper wild, 30% off, I believe. Say go to properwild.com/barstool to try proper wild, 30% off. We got you. Not only are we saving you money, we're making you money, boys. Let's get started with the NCAA slate.
With the NCAA slate, Will, this is why you're a great gambler. You alluded to it earlier. You're coachable. First, we got South Carolina versus Missouri, -4. A lot of people may not know this is a trophy game. It's the Mayor's Cup, the Battle of the Columbias. So, Will, what are you thinking this week after what you learned last week?
I love how you brought that point up that I'm coachable because just like I said, fuck South Carolina, I'm riding with them this week. I grew up in the slums of Missouri, boys. Like, there ain't nothing going on out there in Mizzou. They might be last year's Nebraska by losing these games by single digits, but they're also not really fucking playing anybody. They can hang their hat on Georgia. No disrespect. They can hang their hat on Georgia. They were competing with Georgia. But I was in Missouri at the time, and we were at a wedding watching the iPad, watching Mizzou try and win. You know what all the Mizzou fans were doing? They were praying that they could keep time of possession to where Georgia couldn't come back and beat them because they all knew what was ultimately going to happen. That's the same energy that Missouri keeps. That's the same energy that Mizzou's going to have in this game. Like, oh, let's just, for the love of God, hang on to the football. Let's not lose by more than, single digits. South Carolina -4 in this game. I love it because I think South Carolina is a low-key dark horse in the SEC. JP, I know that you hate that I say that. They're what, 5-2?
5-2, number 25 in the country.
That's what I'm saying. I think they look solid. I know you get nervous because you've been a South Carolina fan for 30, 35, 36 years, and they let you down. They let you down eventually in the season. I understand that. But I love South Carolina. I think the Gamecocks, I think the Cock Commanders, I think they have a lot to be excited about. I love South Carolina -4. And there's not a lot of data that we're going to have on this other than Mizzou fucking sucks and South Carolina's coming off a great win against A&M. That will make them 5 W's in a row this week. Spencer Rattler I'm not even going to say Heisman favorite because we all know how I feel about Spencer Rattler. Hey, listen, I hope you get it all figured out and turned around, but we're riding you this weekend, brother. South Carolina -4.
Love it. Next, we got your squad. Nebraska versus Illinois. You've been high on Illinois. So it's kind of interesting to see this on the board, but let us know why it's, money line.
I genuinely have enjoyed the way Illinois' years unfolded because we've bet on them a few games. I privately bet on them earlier in the year, and then we started publicly taking them to the IPO later in the year, the second half of the first half of the season. That was a little spin zone, but I think I landed the plane there. Nebraska's coming off its second bye week of the year. What's Nebraska's record coming off of bye weeks? 1-0. They could be the first team in the country to go 2-0 off of bye weeks. That's a stat that we might have to get checked out. But however, I think we could be going 2-0 after bye weeks. However, here's what I want to talk about. I'm going to switch going from Nebraska money line because I don't want to lead people astray. I know what I'm going to personally do, but for Bet the Bus sake and everybody riding with us, we're going to move that line a little bit. I want to say Illinois is favored by 7.5. We're going to move that line back. Go on the Barstool Sportsbook. This is a free tip, boys. You click on the game, you can move the line. So you don't just have to bet Illinois -7.5. You click on the game and you move the line. Move the line as far to Nebraska's side as possible. We want Nebraska. If you can go Nebraska +23, we're going Nebraska +23. Move that line as far fucking to the west, east, whichever different direction possible, and ride with Nebraska on that plus whatever it fucking can be come game day. I love the Huskers in that kind of matchup with those kind of rules. I am truly doing my best to leave my emotions out of it. I really am, to try and lead you guys the proper way. I think that they can win, but I'm not going to put that on you guys because we're chasing fucking greatness. We're chasing an undefeated weekend. So move that Nebraska money line, or move that line with Nebraska, Illinois all the way as far as you fucking can with Nebraska.
Hey, one word for that pick: savvy. I love it.
You like that?
I love it.
I adapted on the fly.
I love it.
Because I wanted to yell money line. Trust me. You know your boy I got my points in my head why I think we're gonna win, but I'm not gonna put that on everybody else because everybody keeps fucking crying that I'm just a liar. Like I don't know shit. 9 years in the league, but apparently I don't know shit.
Next, we got TCU at West Virginia. Seems kind of obvious, but the books think otherwise.
Yeah, TCU -7.5, and they're the number 7 team in the country, which is surprising because West Virginia, they've had a couple losses. They lost to A&M or Texas Tech last week. What was it? 48-10?
48-10.
I mean, throw them the rape whistle. They were getting handled out there. I like TCU -7.5. TCU has the second best total offense, averaging 526.7 yards per game, and they are the third best in scoring with 45.8 points per game. Right behind our boys, Tennessee Volunteers, who we have a nice little bet on coming up. But I love TCU's offense. They were down double digits against Kansas State. And yes, I was riding with Kansas State last week. I love the whole Adrian Martinez. I love all that kind of shit, boys. I'm rooting for those guys in purple. Yeah, TCU's purple. They're both purple. But I like TCU -7.5. I think they're going to beat the hell out of West Virginia. -7.5 makes me a little uneasy, but at the same time, because I think that line should be higher. However, that's good news for us because we're going to win this game easy. TCU -7.5. Hang on. Should we go TCU and move the line to -6.5 so they can just win by a touchdown?
Run it.
Wait, which one?
I think 6.5.
Move it to 6.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the payouts are a difference of what? Mitch, if you could guess.
Probably like -110 for 7.5 to probably like -180 to.
That's a big jump.
It's
But
a
in the
big
grand scheme of things, that's like what, $7? Depending on what you bet, that could be $7.
I mean, if you're rolling money bags like we are.
Yeah, if you're rolling money bags like us, it could be higher than that. But if you're rolling a few dollars at a time, like that could be the difference of like 70 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna move the line barely. We're gonna go TCU -6.5, lock that one in.
Big Ten game here as well. Massive Big Ten game.
Big 12, brother. Come on. Get your head out of your ass.
I mean, yeah, we were just in the Big 12, but now we're at the Big Ten.
Oklahoma State, Kansas State?
No. That's the shot of the week.
Well, the way you had it scrolled, that's on me. That's on me. Hey, again.
This is why you're great.
Again, that's on me. That's my fault.
Don't let that happen again.
Yeah. But also get the fucking screen right next time, Jack. That one's on you.
So, Ohio State at Penn State, massive Big Ten game. Willie, make us some bags, man.
I know you just saw that fall out of my mouth, boys. Ohio State -16. This is an easy one. Michigan beat the shit out of Penn State last week. It was a whiteout, too. Like, it was rocking. Mitch over here. Penn State's the loudest fucking stadium in the country when it's the whiteout. They couldn't do shit against Michigan. Michigan shoved it up their ass. Let me back up.
Who cares?
Who gives a fuck?
It was at Penn State.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
Wasn't it the whiteout? They had the numbers on the side of the helmet? I thought they had the numbers, too.
No, it wasn't Michigan.
That's on me. Hey, that's on me.
That's 2 in a row.
That's 2 losses in a row. Listen, we might be going through the storm right now. Adversity is striking us. Maybe this is our low point to bet the bus to set up for the weekend because we're going to fucking win. Yeah. You're right. That's 2 on me, but we're admitting it. We're stepping forward. That's on me. That's on me, brother. However, again, Michigan shoved up their fucking asses last week. Ohio State's going to do the same because they have the offensive talent that doesn't. Their defense, they're a little suspect, but they're second in the nation in scoring at 49.6 points per game. Ohio State had this weekend, they had their shot at making their case to be the number 1 team in the country. They can do it against a Penn State team who, God bless them, going from 10 down to 13 after that kind of an ass beating from Michigan. They only fell 3 slots. I think they're fraudulent being in the top 25, but I hate saying that on a Big Ten team. I hate saying that on a Big Ten team. I know. We need everybody we can get up there, but until Penn State proves otherwise, fuck, man. Happy Halloween, boys. Happy Halloween. Get this candy out of the box. Ohio State -16. I like those odds.
All right, let's keep it in the Big Ten, and we'll talk about your best friend.
Get the candy out of the box, boys. Ohio State -16. That was just for you to do a little.
I got you.
Trick or treat, motherfuckers. Ohio State -16.
Yeah, let's keep it in the Big Ten. This next game, your friend whose name we're not allowed to mention on the show, he's very invested in this game. And we got Michigan State at Michigan. What we got?
So not only do we have the gambling gods looking after us, but we also have our one that we've lost, Taylor Lewan, RIP Taylor Lewan. He's looking over us as well. I know he wants us to go Michigan in this. Let's just go through some stats and we'll all pick together because it's -23. That scares me because let me tell you why. Michigan State has won the last 2 meetings against Michigan. I know they're having a down year. Some would say brutal. Like, it's not the expectation that I know Michigan State Spartans have. Their old linebacker, my old linebacker coach in Nebraska is the linebacker coach for Michigan State. Both of them, linebacker coach and assistant linebacker coach. Love them. Love them. They're good. But I know they're not living up to the expectations they've wanted to. They're coming off a nice win. Who'd they play last week?
Yeah. They played October 15th against Wisconsin.
And then they had a bye.
Yeah.
So they've been recovering. They've been licking their wounds. They came off a good win against a Wisconsin team who's been, again, they have nothing to lose. They've been throwing trick plays out there. They've been throwing smoke bombs. Now, Michigan State, I kind of like them plus 23. That's a gigantic fucking spread, boys. It's a big spread. Do we think Michigan's going to cover that? Blake Corum, Chevy Silverado type player. He's a dog. He's got great low center of gravity. He bounces off hits. They have a great running game. They have a good offense. But again, Michigan State has their number the last 2 years. And even when Taylor was playing, I think Taylor went 1-3. So I don't know why my man's always out there chirping, because he just gets his foot put in his mouth every time. How do we feel about this game? How do you guys think about this game? Do you guys think Michigan's going to cover 23? Mitch, talk to us. New guy. Fucking, for the love of God, talk to us.
I mean, that's 3 touchdowns to cover. I mean, Michigan has been donkeying, as our RIP Taylor Wan would say.
Yeah.
So
donkey punching, donkey kicks.
And they handled Penn
God rest his
State.
soul.
They handled Penn State very easily. And so the 23 is just a lot.
And it's a rivalry game.
And they've lost, I don't know if you've mentioned it, Michigan has lost the last 2 games against Michigan State.
Taylor, brother, we love you. We miss you. We know you're up there saying Michigan State, but I think we're going Michigan State plus 23.
Let's bring it back to the SEC, where we have arguably the number 1 team in the nation, according to some people, like the person sitting next to me. But we got Tennessee versus Kentucky, and we're going with the over here, Will. Why are we going with the over?
Look, Tennessee's been a bunch of crazy motherfucking dogs. I know they're Smokey. Shout out Smokey. What a great good boy he is. Tennessee is scoring on 61% of their possessions. Tennessee ranks number 1 in scoring with 50 points per game. Tennessee has scored 30 points or more in 10 straight fucking games, boys. The only blemish they have on the resume is their secondary ranks 130 out of 131. That sucks, but I think that only sucks when looking at a natty coming up, which we don't want to look ahead. We want to look at this just this weekend. Tennessee's scoring at that rate for a fucking reason on top 5 teams, and they're handling these little JV squads that they get every now and then too. Like they look good. Hendon Hooker is a fucking dog. I love the over 63.5 Tennessee, Kentucky. Do we think they cover minus 13?
Absolutely.
All right, we're gonna do
and one tonight.
Jack, hey, we're letting this pick go. This is a double little pick with Tennessee. We're going over and the spread, just like we did with Alabama.
And it's a night game in Knoxville, and they're wearing the all black unis.
The Spooktober unis.
Spooktober unis. It's a can't lose opportunity. Can't lose.
Take the points. Or they're going to cover the spread. Tennessee covering the spread, whatever it is on game day. And the over of 63.5. That's what we're seeing right now. But we're betting the over, and we're betting Tennessee to cover the fucking spread. Right now it's at minus 13. I think that's what I'm going to lock in today once this show gets over with. But we're taking that one home. We're riding with the Volunteers until they fucking let us down, because they haven't yet.
And we'll wrap up our college slate with the proper wild shot of the week. Introduce us, Will.
The proper wild shot of the week. We're going to the Big 12. And again, last week, Kansas State let us the fuck down. But right now, they're favored by, what is it? They're favored by 2.5 points, I believe. They're favored by a few points. So that's already a big red flag, because Oklahoma State had a massive win against Texas last week. I'm talking, they were down too. Quinn Ewers was dabbling a little bit, but then my man just shit down his leg. He should be on the Coach Go, Mr. Go 30. He should probably have a video on that. Shout out Mr. Go 30. But this is our proper wild shot of the game. We're picking an underdog to win. Oklahoma State is weirdly the underdog as a number 9 team in the country, going to the number 22 team, Kansas State in Manhattan. There's nothing to do out there. I'm telling you, Oklahoma State's going to come in. It's going to be a shitstorm. They're going to properly beat their fucking ass. Oklahoma State money line is your proper wild shot of the week. That's our underdog. That's who we're rolling with. Adrian, I'm sorry. I fucking love you, brother, but I think you guys are going down. Pussies.
All right, we'll go to the NFL. And hey, I think the unofficial official song of Bet the Bus should be Recession Proof by Yo Gotti. You haven't heard it?
Ooh, is that just off the top? You just thought of something while we were rambling right there? I love that. Recession Proof by Yo Gotti. Rock that right after Bet the Bus.
He listens, I'm pretty sure.
Yo Gotti?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to come on the bus.
Yeah.
He wants to come on Bussin' with the Boys, so go ahead and subscribe to that. I know, the fan base is we need to build the bus one up to Bussin with the Boys. That's all I'm saying. Leave comments. Leave comments if you're watching right now. For the love of God, we need it for the algorithm. Jack, go ahead.
All right, moving on to our bread and butter, the NFL, starting with an NFC West showdown. 49ers at the Rams. The line is 1.5. What are you feeling?
I love Niners minus 1.5. Not only because Blas is part of the squad, but the Niners are a good fucking team. And they added Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel are about to be the best duo the league is witnessing this year. Maybe one of the top duos by the end of time. And the reason I say that is because Coach Shanahan is a fucking brainiac. The dude is a menace in the lab. He wears the white coat in the lab. He's cooking stuff up with the little those tubes, the beakers. He's cooking shit up with the beakers. He's got formulas in there. They got Christian McCaffrey for a reason. They're all in on this year, similar to where the Rams were last year when they started getting Von Miller, Odell Beckham, which the Rams should probably go and get. Shout out Odell Beckham. But we're going to go Niners minus 1.5 because, again, they're all in on this year. Christian McCaffrey's a fucking dog. Deebo Samuel, dog. They're one in their, what is it, one in the same or two in the same?
One in the same.
They're one in the same. Nobody's going to know what hit them. They can all line up and they're all the same positions. They can have personnels and they're not going to know how they're going to line up. I'm telling you, Christian McCaffrey, the Niners, lock it in, and shout out also George Kittle.
All right, moving on. And hey, if the 49ers come through, I think we need to start a nickname for Shanahan. Maybe he's the mad scientist. Who knows? Working title, but we'll swing back next week.
That's why we got you on here, Jack. Come up with some shit, brother.
This could be a scary game for the Packers. They've come off 2 brutal losses. Now they're going against potentially the best team in the league. But Packers at the Bills in Buffalo. Spread is 11. It's scary.
It is scary that they have such a big spread like that in the NFL. Maybe we look to the over-under in this game, which is at 47.5 right now. And to raise you on their 2 losses, they've lost 3 straight.
Oh, wow, yeah.
They're in a little bit of a shitstorm in Green Bay. We love Green Bay. We're a fucking cheesehead, boys. We're a cheesehead. The bus has been inserted in Green Bay. We've had the boys on. We love Rob Tunyon. We love Matt LaFleur. We love Coach Bisaccia. We love Coach KO. We love Joe Barry. We love David Bakhtiari. We love Aaron Rodgers. But the question is, has Aaron Rodgers said too much on the Pat McAfee show? Is he rambling too much on the Pat McAfee show to show that priorities are a little messed up right now? Because my man, it seems like he's throwing some shit under the bus. People are saying that. We're not saying that. We're just saying it seems like that. Is he going on the Pat McAfee show too much and relaying too much information? Because there could be some chaos created inside the building. You're sitting back watching A-Rod, the GOAT, Tom Brady, but he's on Mount Rushmore. He's on a Mount Rushmore. He's on one of the Mount Rushmores. You got to be sitting back like, fuck, man. Like, let's just keep stuff internal. Let's keep stuff in-house. I think they got a lot of shit going on. Everything that I'm about to rattle off here, the Bills have the number 1 offense in yards per game, and they're number 2 in points per game. They also have the number 1 defense in yards per game and points per game. A-Rod's not clicking. It's the whole analogy where I said Aaron Rodgers with anybody out there, it's like ranch. You put it on anything, it's good. It's more like blue cheese right now. And he's upset with those boys. They're not clicking like we thought they would. We've been rocking with Aaron Rodgers a lot and bet the boys. We've been let down a couple of times. Again, massive fans. We're cheeseheads. We're cheeseheads. Look, I'm wearing cheese on my head right now. But everything on this game, without picking, saying plus, minus, whatever, we're going to go the under. We're going to go under 47.5 Packers, Bills. That's what I want to lock in. Do we feel good about that?
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know if the Bills fans are going to love that analogy from ranch to blue cheese, because if you go up to Bills country, blue cheese is king. So, really? Yeah, everybody's a blue cheese guy up there. Ranch is not the move there, apparently. Not for me personally, but it's like if you eat wings there, it's apparently you eat it with blue cheese.
I think we're going to have to fact check that, brother, because that's a big shot to Bills Mafia. By the way, Bills Mafia and Green Bay, we got shirts for you guys. The Electric the Boys shirts, go buy them in the store, store.barstoolsports.com/Bussin with the Boys. They're all there. But I think we need a fact check on that, because that would be abysmal if blue cheese is the go-to over ranch in fucking Buffalo. However, throw everybody through the tables this weekend. We're going under, and obviously the Bills are probably going to win the game, so you can confidently probably bet the money line.
All right, moving on. We got Falcons at the Panthers. Falcons, for the first time last week, finally let us down. And that was tough to see, but I'd like to see them have a bounce back. What about you?
Falcons were undefeated against the spread until last week. They did let us down for the first time. However, we always want to ask yourself when betting with the Falcons, what would Calvin Ridley do? I think in this situation, Panthers, I think, are coming off a very fluke fucking win against the Buccaneers. I say fluke win lightly because it was an ass whooping. Whether or not they win the game, that's their own prerogative. They're one trade away from becoming an SEC team. They've been draining their talent. They've been acquiring picks. They're looking ahead to next year. That's a front office that you can respect because they have awareness to be like, hey, we're going to pull the plug on this year. Let's start acquiring picks and building for the future. They don't want to get rid of Christian McCaffrey. They just realize, hey, we can get some draft capital. That's exactly what I was looking for. We can get some draft capital for this. Let's start building for the future. Let's start looking ahead. Then they rattle off a win. It's like, fuck. We're in just a win-win situation right now. We're playing with house money. I think the reality kicks in this weekend. Falcons money line against the Panthers.
Just to fact check, I have an article right here, and on a wing store sign in Buffalo, years ago, they had Tom Brady eats his chicken wings with ranch. Go Bills. So.
All right. Jack, let's just go to the next game before I start to get a little pissed off about this ranch talk.
Hey, I'm with
this blue
you.
cheese talk, because I think blue cheese is horrendous.
All right, well, speaking of the Patriots, our next game, Jets versus the Patriots, spreads 1.5. Jets have been looking pretty, though.
Yes. Patriots are favored 1.5 in this game. I think the Patriots are in a little bit of trouble. The Jets have won 4 straight, but they also lost Breece Hall this last week, who's been a fucking playmaker for him. Pats lost on Monday to the Bears, and let's call it what it is. The Bears are backwash at the bottom of your favorite drink. They're a shit team. And when you lose to the Bears on Monday night and the Bears score that many fucking points, that's bad. And also, they're in a QB drama situation. Anytime you have 2 QBs, you basically have no QBs. We're going to go Jets money line. They're going to win 5 straight this weekend against the Patriots at home. And Gary V, I'm sure, is going to be their front row keeping the fucking receipts.
Moving on, Thursday night game.
Thursday night football. This is your shot where you hear it here, boys. Tonight, Thursday night football, Ravens minus 1.5 against the Bucks. The Bucks are coming off a loss to the fucking Panthers. We already talked about it. They're almost a college football team with the talent they have on that roster. No disrespect to the boys. I love Matt Ioannidis. That's my boy. We hunt once a year together. That's my boy. He was in my wedding.
Flex.
But we got to call it what it is. The Ravens are in every game. Every game that they've lost, they've had like a double-digit lead and they blew it. They've lost every game marginally. However, they are the 5th best team in the NFL with 156 rushing yards per game for a reason. Lamar Jackson, he's a stud. The Ravens are one of those teams that start figuring out midseason and they bring in a lot of momentum going into the playoffs. The Bucks are 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 and have lost 4 out of the last 5. There's a lot of turmoil in Tampa Bay country right now. The game is at Tampa Bay. However, I love the Ravens. The Ravens are also, check this out, boys. They're 8-2 straight up in the last 10 games against the Bucks. Primetime television, Lamar Jackson shows up. Whether or not he has to take a shit mid-game, he shows back up and still throws touchdowns. I love the Ravens minus 1.5 Thursday night football. Lock it in. Do we got to go to the guy?
Yeah.
Let's get to the guy. He's sent in a couple voice messages. The guy has been shitty. Let's fade the fuck out of him. But here's the guy. He might have, unless he has picks that lines up with us, because maybe he's gonna eat his Wheaties the right way and start thinking I'm gonna bet with the boys. But without further ado, here is the guy.
All right, Willie, let me rattle off my picks. Ravens over Bucks, blowout. Broncos over Jags, blowout. Cowboys over Bears, big blowout. Bills over Packers, huge blowout. Giants money line over the Seahawks, blowout. Bengals over Browns, blowout. And Taylor Heineke and the boys over the frickin' Colts, blowout. And the reason why I'm not giving you an explanation this week, Willie, is because the guy last week in the wife beater talking out of the side of his mouth with the Adidas head thingy on. I don't know who that guy is. I watched the show. He was coming at me, so you know what? You get no explanation on my picks. Take them.
All right, hopefully the guy does a little bit better. If not, just fade the fuck out of him. But we're moving on to our but the lock of the week, and 2 teams that our boy Payoff Willy has, put blood, sweat, and tears into. We got Raiders at the Saints. Line is 2. What alma mater are you rolling with?
That's a great question. I was with the Saints for a cup of coffee before I got injured. If I don't get injured, I'm probably rolling with those boys to the playoffs, and they're probably going farther than the first round when they lost to the Vikings. Raiders minus 2. I love this game. They finally got their first win. And the key to their success has been feeding the boy Josh Jacobs. He's had over 140 rush yards in 3 straight fucking games, boys. The Saints have lost their last 5 out of 6. DC and Devontae, they're starting to figure it out. I'm telling you, they're starting to figure it out. Ever since he pushed that fucking guy, they've been figuring that shit out. I love the Raiders -2. Again, feed Josh Jacobs. My man has been a fucking legend these last 3 weeks. Continue to feed the boy. He's like Thanos. The last 3 weeks, he's been going from team to team collecting stones. He's like Thanos. Feed Josh Jacobs. Raiders -2 against the Saints. That's your Bet the Bus lock of the week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, comments, like. Hack the algorithm. I see people in the comments saying, how do we not have more views on this thing? We need to get our first 10,000 view video. We need our first 10,000 view video. Share it. You got to share it with your group chat. You got to share it with your boys. You got to share this shit. But thank you. We love you. We appreciate you as always. Big hugs, tiny kisses, and may God have mercy on the board because we fucking won't. And may the boys forever be in our favor. We had a lot of picks. I do like all of them. It's tough to go undefeated when you just throw in like fucking 16 picks right there, but